Sup guys, welcome to another tutorial. Today I am going to be doing, at the request of a viewer, making an AI, basically someone that follows the player around, and then we're going to have like a vehicle, and the AI is going to follow us into that vehicle, and then when we get out, the AI get out with us, and that's it. So our viewer has asked me to do that, but I don't really have this to include in any of the series, because I do have an AI series, but it's kind of a Fallout 4 companion theme. It doesn't really have vehicles, so I'm gonna make like a separate video. I'm gonna start here by a new project using the third person because we do have the animated characters. I'm gonna include the starter content just if we need anything. I'm just gonna call this AI car tutorial. It's not really, well, this is misleading. Just gonna call it AI. Never mind. You can name it whatever you want or add it into your own project. I'll now see when this is done. Okay, so the project has opened. First of all, we're gonna have to have some kind of placeholder that will function as a car, because I'm not gonna this tutorial is just to work around with the AI, so the AI follows and like gets into a state that is inside the vehicle with the player. We're gonna look at the AI aspect of it, not at the vehicle itself. So I'm not gonna be doing like making the vehicle move and actual vehicle. I'm just gonna use like a box or some mesh to use as a placeholder for a vehicle, and I just have that. So I'm going to go over here into the third person BP and blueprints. I'm going to right click, create a new blueprint class, going to create an actor. I'm just going to call this the car. I'm going to double click that open, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to have a static mesh. I'm going to call this the car mesh. I'm just going to make this a cube, but I'm gonna make it a little bit bigger. So let me go over here, make it like that and like that. Let's add that into the level, and so it doesn't become that confusing, I am going to let me just drag this over here. I'm just gonna put a different material on it, so it doesn't confuse with the ground. So that's going to be into the starter content, materials, over here, and I'm just going to add something, whatever. I'm going to put some concrete, whatever, or not. Okay, let me go over here. Inside the mesh, I'm just going to change the material here. I'm going to just put some bricks, whatever. You see that this is like super large. That's because of the UV. Doesn't matter. But now we have our player character. I can just show you around. Now we have our car over here, and I'm gonna want to add something in our car so we know that we are close to it. So first of all, I'm gonna add a box collision. I'm gonna make this box collision not the default collision, actually. I'm just gonna have this over here. I'm going to expand it so it goes a little bit beyond the car, like that. Actually, gonna make it just a little bit more bigger. There you go. And then I'm gonna have overlap all, and I'm going to go over into the events and do an on begin overlap. And actually, I'm probably just gonna add an end overlap if we need it. That's gonna be over here on our event graph. And the first thing that I'm gonna do before I actually make the AI, I'm gonna go into the third person character. I'm just gonna create a new variable that is, well, can enter. So we're gonna use this if we can actually enter the car. Okay, there you go. And I'm gonna create another variable is in car. So we're gonna use these two variables to know if we can enter the car and if we can if you are into the ar. So if we are in the car, we're gonna let the AI know, but that's gonna be coming a little bit later. Now I'm just gonna make our player be in the car. So how I'm gonna do that is that I'm gonna go into the third person character. I'm just thinking on how to do that. First of all, I'm gonna go into the viewport of the car, and I'm gonna add an arrow. I'm gonna add it over here. So these arrows are going to basically be, well, the places where the player is going to be, or the AI. So I'm gonna go over here, and I'm gonna call this the player spot. And I'm going to Control W, and I'm going to call this the AI spot. And I'm just going to make it, I don't know, over here. Doesn't matter. Oh, there you go. And we're going to use both of these arrows to, we have actual physical space of where we want to be when we enter the car. So for starters, I'm going to go into the third person character. Actually, I might do that in the car. So I'm going to go into the other actor. So this is when we begin overlap with this. I'm going to go with the other character. I'm going to cast to the third person. And I'm actually going to go and create another blueprint on the third person character that is going to be the car. That is going to be of the type car, and it can be a reference, compound save, because we're going to set that over here. So I'm just going to set can enter to true. Then I'm going to set the car to this on blueprint, so it's going to be self. Then I'm just going to copy this and paste it on the overlap, connect this object to the other component, and now I'm going to say can enter to false. And I'm going to delete the reference so we can empty the variable so we can no longer use it. And this way we're going to be getting the information on our character that we cannot or can enter the car. So now to create a way of entering the car, I'm going to create a new keyboard event. Just going to say keyboard, and I guess E, it's fine. Then when we press E, we're going to say, well, can we enter the car? If this is true, I'm going to start by setting the actor location ourselves to the new location, and the new location is going to be the car, and I'm going to get the player spot, and then I'm going to get the world location. I'm also going to click on teleport because we do not want any collision to mess around. And I think we can just go ahead and test this. So let's play with our player. I'm going to approach this. I'm going to click E, and you can see that we got teleported into the car. But now you can see that we can move. We do not want that because basically we want to take control of the car. And how can we do that? So I'm probably going to go into the car, and I'm going to say, well, possess, I guess. I can do that. I don't know if I can do this on an actor itself. Yes, because I made the car an actor, I can't really possess it. So I'm just going to use something because I'm not really looking into the logic of, using the car. I actually want to just show the AI part of it. I'm just setting up the player logic for it. I'm just going to call something from our controller. And I'm going to say, I think it's called block input. I'm just going to see what input comes out of. So I think there's something that allows us to block the input. So let me see. We can set ignore move input, I believe. I don't know if we can just use that. I'm going to see if it works. I actually never use this. So set ignore move. Okay, there you go. I'm going to set that to true, and I actually want to do another thing. When we enter the car, we want to make our character face the forward thing. So I'm actually going to go over here and actually set the actor rotation. Oh, it's not this, for fuck's sake. Set the actor rotation. There you go. Let's connect these up. I'm going to teleport physics, and now I'm going to go into the player spot and get the world rotation and connect that up. And now if we go ahead and play, I'm going to click E, and I can no longer move. I can look around, but you can see that now we're going to imagine that we just possessed the car pawn, and now like we take control of it. But this is just the only thing that I wanted. I want to make the character be on the car. Now we're going to want to create an AI that is going to do the same. So I'm going to now go over here into the third person character. Actually, I'm not. Yes, I am. I'm going to Control W to duplicate, and I'm just going to call this the AI. And I'm going to double click that open. First of all, I'm going to delete everything that has to do with the input. I'm going to delete the follow camera and the camera boom. And I'm not going to have any input on the AI, so I'm going to just basically call an event. So I'm going to create a new custom event that is going to be, let's see, enter car, I guess it can be. So let's connect that up, and let's just delete this because we're not going to be a player control thing. And we can leave this the same. And now we're gonna have to do something, well, with AI movement. So I'm gonna do something very basic. I'm gonna go and get an event begin play. I'm just gonna say, well, AI move to, the pawn is gonna be ourselves, and the target actor is going to be get the player character. Then on success, we're gonna set a delay. Yes, and after that delay, I'm gonna do branch, and I'm gonna check if I'm in the car. And if I am in the car, I'm not gonna do anything. If I'm not in the car, I am going to reset this AI move to, and I'm gonna set the acceptance radius to, I guess, 50 or something like that. No, I'm going to leave it at 5 for now, it doesn't matter. I'm going to compile and save. I'm just going to drag the AI into the level, and if I play, you can see this happening. Oh, we cannot because I'm forgetting something. When we work around with AI, we're going to need to go up here and search for a nav mesh bound volume. When we work with AI, we always need to have this stuff in the level. You can press P to see it, to become visible, and now I'm just going to scale it up to cover the entire map. There you go. And now if I click play, the AI is going to move towards the player and is going to kind of follow me around. But if I go into where the AI is just going to be trying to follow me around the car, he's actually not going to get into it. So now how are we going to do that? First of all, I want to go, because I forgot something, I'm going to set is in the car to true, because I forgot to do that. And I'm going to go into the AI and actually do the same thing. And now we have this custom inventory that we created, the enter car on the AI. But how do we call this? So how we're going to do that is that we're going to go onto the car, go into the other actor. I'm going to cast to AI. And I'm going to drag this from the cast file. So if what entered this box collision is not the third person character, is the AI, we're going to call that enter car. And that seems very simple. So now let's play. Boom. Now if I enter the car, let's see what happens. Boom. Nothing happened. Let me see why. Okay, this is a third person character, so enter car. Oh, that's because I didn't set up the can enter. Okay, let me just go over here into the car. And before I do this, I need to set the can enter to true. Because we need to set that because of the branch. We probably could take that out to the AI because we don't really need this. But I'm just going to leave it anyway. I'm going to play. I'm going to go ahead and enter the car. Boom. and the AI disappeared. I remember why. That's because I forgot to change something on the AI. Over the player spot, we do not want the player spot, we want to get the AI spot. Because if we get the same spot, it's going to overlap the characters and one of them is not going to spawn. So just hold control, click and drag, and my data is going to crash. Oh, it didn't, it just lagged. Okay, that's cool. And drag from the AI spot, we can delete the player spot, and just drag for these targets over here, the get location and rotation. Now compile and save, play. So I have our AI that follows around. Now I'm gonna go over here and press play. Why is this AI disappearing? I don't understand. Let's see, there's some error. Oh, I know why. I forgot another thing, I'm so sorry. I actually need to set the car over here. Because I forgot, we need to set these variables as we did in the character, but I forgot about this one. So connect that and say self. And now it should work, I hope. Compile and save. Let's play. There we are. I'm going to go over here, I'm going to click E. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, I know why. Okay, after we do this enter car, we need to do something after that for the AI, that is stop, or I think it's called stop active movement. There you go. So the AI will immediately stop and won't try to move anymore. And this in car should be true, so this is probably not going to execute again. So let's play. Try that again. I don't know, the editor is kind of freaking out. Okay, what the hell is happening? I wasn't expecting that to happen. Why is it freaking out? Is it because this thing doesn't affect the nav mesh? Is there a nav mesh on this? There is. So let me just see something. On the class defaults, let's type in nav. Nothing appears. Settings. I think there is something. Car mesh, let me see. Nav. Can affect navigation is true, so I don't know what's the problem there. Is there something with the collision? But it's weird, why is it happening with the AI and not with the player? Because I can get into it just fine. But the AI kind of bugs out. Oh, we can actually still jump, that's weird. Stop movement immediately. Let's try that now. Play. Get into the car. No, it's still freaking out. I'm sorry, I don't know what is happening. Because it's not freaking out with the player. I don't know why is it freaking out with the AI. I'm gonna try and set this a little bit higher. It shouldn't make a problem, but the fact is that it is. Oh, there you go. The AI, for some reason, the collision is kind of messed up with AI. I don't really know why, but we could probably make this work. Okay, I have an idea. Let's just go into the AI spot and drop it to thingies. You're probably just going to need to adjust these values. Try on the Z of 160 and it's probably going to be fixed, I guess. There you go. So this is how you do it. You got into the car, the AI follows you, and now technically, if you have possessed the car, like it is an actual playable thing, you could just go and the AI will stay on top, sorry. But now we're gonna want to get out. So when you press E again, so I guess I'm gonna have to do a flip-flop. So drag from E and do a flip-flop on the third person character. And what we want to do then is I actually probably gonna go into the car and create a new arrow, add it to the default scene route. There you go. And this, I'm just gonna call this the exit spot. And I'm gonna make this arrow like over here, so like we get out on the on the other side of the car. I'm gonna go into the third person character, and I'm going to probably I'm gonna just copy and paste all of this. So Control C and Control V. I'm gonna drag from B into over here. The set actor location is going to be the get exit location, or exit spot. There you go. Let's connect these up. Delete the player spot. And yeah, the rotation is fine. The set ignore movement input, I'm gonna toggle that to false, and this in car is gonna be set to false as well. Let's compile and save that. Going to the AI, we're gonna have to do the same, but I'm gonna create a new function, and I'm gonna call a custom event called exit car. And exit car is, I'm just gonna copy and paste everything the same way. Control C, Control V. I'm gonna get the exit spot. Gonna connect that up. There you go. And it's gonna do the same thing for the AI. We're gonna set is in car, it's false, and I'm going to unplug this. And what's gonna happen is that once it becomes true, I'm gonna make a delay after the true, and I'm going to recheck this branch so we can get back at following the player after we get out. It's a little bit confusing over here, but so you can see a little bit better, I'm going to do it this way and this way. So basically this delay is going to go over to this branch. If it's in the car, we're going to say it's true, so you're going to make a delay to recheck this every 0.2 seconds. If it's false, it's going to do the I move to. Now you're going to have to find a place to call this, and it's actually pretty easy. We can go into the third person character, and after we do this, we can probably let me see. I'm trying to find a good way to do this, because I want to make the AI get out when the player gets out, but I don't have any reference for the AI. That's interesting. How am I going to do it? Okay, I guess I can do it this way. Because I don't really have a reference for the AI, I can get a null actors of class node. We can get the AI. Then we're going to do a for each loop. It's only going to be one, you could just do a get, but it's safer this way. Then I'm just going to say exit car. And imagine if we have a ton of AIs and then we just want the ones. Actually, we can do that. Let's go into the branch. Let's get is in car, and we only gonna want to get out with the AIs that are in the car. If there is AIs that are like not controlled by you, I guess. Wait, what is happening over here? I dragged from over here. Get is in car. Why is it not getting the ones that I want? That's weird. Okay, I'm just gonna leave it like this because this is just an example, but you get it how you do if you add more AIs. and I think that's probably everything that we need. So let's try and play that. Oh, god damn it. Stop build. I didn't want to build. Okay, play. Server AI is following us. I get in. The AI gets in with me. I press E to get out, and he gets out. But he's not following me for some reason. Why is that? Wait. Oh, okay, I know what that. We need to drag from the B into this branch, and we only want to execute this if we are indeed inside the car. So is in car. Is it true? If it is, then we're gonna execute this. Another thing is that the AI is not following the player back for some reason. So let me see why. We are setting is in car to false. And we are rechecking that. That's weird. It should be doing this. Alright, I guess there is a better way to do this. Let's just compile. We can just get this node and basically give a new order to the AI. So when we exit the car, we're going to say another AI move to, and then we're going to delay this and redo this basically, and we only redo this if we are not in the car. So I actually want to drag this into the false, compile and save. Now play. There you go. Our AI follows us. We get into here. The AI gets in with us. I get out. The AI gets out with us, and it follows me back. Let's try to get in again. There you go. There is the AI. I get out. It gets out with me, and it comes around. So that's it. There you go. So the only thing that is left now is that we actually control the car and move around, but that's a whole new a whole new series, making a movement car that's a little bit complicated. But what the viewer requested is exactly this: make the AI follow the player inside the car, and that's just done. It's not that hard. It took me a little while because I got some things wrong. But hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you have any more requests, you can leave them in the comments as always. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye bye.